Good Gravy is the new for 2024 Family Boomerang at Holiday World. And gee willikers, this is a very important coaster for both the park and manufacturer. Holiday World finally got a true family coaster, and Vekoma was able to open their first family boomerang in the United States. I'll explain why this is one of the better rides of its kind in this review. Vekoma debuted the family boomerang in 2011. The model has spread like wildfire across Europe and Asia, as there are 29 installations as of the end of the 2023 season, and it's not hard to see the appeal. The coasters differentiated themselves from other family coasters by offering forwards and backwards motion. Then the shuttle nature minimized space and costs for parks. But until 2024, none had made their way to the United States. That all changed when Holiday World announced Good Gravy through one of the best announcement videos of all time. Was it corny? Oh yes, but it absolutely fits in with the park. Just take a look at the highlights from that video.
Something savory is coming. The silver has been polished, the green beans have been casseroled, the turkey has been stuffed, the cranberry jelly is out of the can, the family is all here, the table is set, and the gravy is... gone already?
Where's the gravy?
Where's the gravy? Good gravy! How'd we run out?
Gee willikers, that's some good gravy!
Now interestingly, shortly after Holiday World announced Good Gravy, Kings Island announced a family boomerang named Snoopy's Soapbox Racers. It was a bit surprising the first two installations stateside went to two parks whose markets overlap, but I think the model is a better fit at Holiday World. For one, Holiday World desperately needed a family coaster. Their lineup consisted of 3 intense wood coasters, a launched B&M wing coaster, and a kiddie coaster and howler. The latter is a fine coaster for kids, but the next tamest coaster at the park was Raven, and that is still one heck of a wild ride. Not only did the thrill level increase drastically between those two rides, but so did the height limit. Riders only needed to be 36 inches tall to ride Howler, but 48 inches tall to ride Raven, or any of the wood coasters for that matter. The park was lacking a transitional coaster. Good Gravy more than satisfies that. The ride is dynamic, but not too much for those with gentler tastes, but it does enough to even keep thrill seekers engaged. And it also has a super low 38-inch height limit, which allows even younger ones to ride. 2. Holiday World's attendance is better suited for the model than Kings Island. The biggest con with the family boomerang is the capacity. Since it's a shuttle coaster, it can only operate with one train. That leads to an inherently lower throughput than a full circuit coaster running multiple trains. Good Gravy seats a max of 20 riders per cycle, as the train is comprised of 10 rows of 2. That's on par with the other family boomerangs. Many guests head to Good Gravy immediately at park open, even though it's in the back of the park. It's a combination of the ride's newness and guests wanting to experience it before the water park opens at 11, so it sees its highest crowds at the start of the day. As a result, Holiday World strategically implements a boarding pass system on this coaster during busier periods. They don't want guests to spend too much time in this ride's queue alone. When the boarding pass system is in place, employees at the entrance will provide a paper ticket with a return time. You are welcome to return any time after the printed time, but not before. It's unlikely this system will be in place all day based on what I've heard. In my recent visit, it was in place for just the first 2 to 3 hours. When I returned with my boarding pass, I had to wait maybe 20 to 30 minutes, which was not too bad for a new coaster. But by the second half of the day, the coaster was a walk-on as guests had dispersed themselves throughout the park. So this is one where it may be prudent to wait until later in the day. It will also be interesting to see if the boarding pass system will continue past the ride's inaugural year. If you do get stuck waiting a while for this coaster, the queue is at least very well themed. The premise is that you're at your grandparents' house for Thanksgiving, so the queue takes you past different rooms in their house. and there's a lot to see. Each room has all sorts of paraphernalia lying about. Most are static, but the kitchen has some swinging cabinets, and there are also a few noises. Towards the end of the line, there's a newspaper clipping explaining the ride's backstory, and there's also an animated painting providing some safety instructions. Eventually, you reach the station, which is themed to a garage. You have license plates from all 50 states on the walls. Then you see the trains, and they are gravy boats. It is too perfect for the ride's theme. They look exactly like something you'd find on a Thanksgiving table. They are glossy white with some artsy decals. There also is a considerable amount of theming around the layout itself. You pass through a can of cranberry sauce at the start, and the track fittingly has that shade of pink. Then you pass by oversized kitchen utensils and food items. This is not only exciting on-ride, but it looks great off-ride as well. This coaster fills the plot of land once home to Pilgrim's Plunge. This intimate flume ride opened in 2009 as the world's tallest water ride. In 2013, the ride was incorporated into the Splash and Safari Water Park and renamed Giraffica, but it was removed before the 2014 season. While the ride was a record breaker, the ride was plagued with technical issues and operated sporadically. For nearly a decade, you just saw the old station building sitting idle as you walked between the Voyage and Thunderbird. But now it features an eye-catching new ride. This adds so much energy to the Thanksgiving area. When you reach the station, you are free to select any row you'd like. I think the seats towards the front offer the best overall experience, mainly for the second spike. It is shockingly steep, and these rows travel the furthest up it. If you have longer legs, you may want to wait extra for the very front row anyway. The older family Boomerangs have shin guards in all rows except row 1 to prevent guests from touching the car ahead of them. Good Gravy does not have shin guards, but the cars are cramped. So if you can't get your legs low enough, the lap bar will not close far enough to allow you to ride. I saw a lot of guests having to cross their legs to fit in the train. If you need it, there's a little extra room in the front car. The lap bar itself is comfortable and similar to the other Vekoma family coasters. Once dispatched, you are pulled backwards up an inclined lift. Tires push the train upwards. When you reach the top, the train jerks forwards a tad, so brace yourself for that. Then a second later, you are released. The drop is better in the rear rows because you experience it in fall, but it's more or less a big ramp to build up speed. You then roar through the station, and then you bank right. The turn offers a smidge of force, and then you zip through a giant can of cranberry sauce. It's a fun tunnel visually, and if you ride it at night, the inside is illuminated as a bonus. This is immediately followed by a mild 180-degree turn around a playground. Then there's a bunny hill. It comes close to giving airtime, but you don't quite lift out of your seat. It's a similar sensation to many of the hills in Dollywood's Big Bear Mountain. Then you have another 180-degree turn on the far side of the ride, and this offers another light dose of positive G's. This leads into the best part of the ride, the far spike. On a lot of family Boomerangs, the train barely goes up it. Not on Good Gravy. You actually go fairly high, and if you're towards the front of the train, you're pretty steep and you'll get some weightlessness. Towards the back, you only go up a fraction of the spike though, so it's far milder there. Then you complete the course in reverse. The initial turn is quite fun backwards because it has a pinch of positive G's, but the other elements are light in the force with the loss of speed. That being said, the backwards motion combined with the area's cute visuals are more than plenty to keep the experience exciting. You then cruise through the station and decelerate. You travel up the initial lift a tad, and then you roll forwards into the station, ending the coaster. The ride features just 722 feet or 220 meters of track, but the course traveled is double that due to the shuttle nature. This gives it an acceptable overall length. In terms of smoothness, the ride is glass smooth. That has been the case with all the new Vekomas, and I hope that doesn't change. So, what would I rate Good Gravy? I would give this coaster a 7 out of 10. This is a top tier family boomerang, but there are some other family coasters I prefer from other manufacturers, hence why the rating is not any higher. The layout is on par with the other family boomerangs in terms of sensations. Not too forceful, but smooth and pleasant. Although the far spike is really nice in the front rows. But this one is plussed by some really creative theming during the queue line layout. Good Gravy is exactly what Holiday World needed. It perfectly filled an empty plot of land in the Thanksgiving area, and they got the family coaster they were sorely lacking. This appears to be a smashing success for the park. Everyone was coming off with a smile, and I'm looking forward to more rides like it popping up in the United States. I know I would have loved having a ride like this as a kid. I think Luna at Lisa Berry is still my favorite family boomerang, purely off the layout and setting. Because of the placement, the ride essentially reached hyper heights and you had an amazing view overlooking the hill at the park. But Good Gravy may be a better overall package when you add in the adorable theming. The park went all out on the corniness, but it absolutely works. So those are my thoughts on Good Gravy. What are your thoughts about this coaster? Do you agree it was exactly what Holiday World needed? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you consider subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.